So recently, my friends and I just came across a wonderful cinematic film, for that's the reason why we are making a recount covering some parts of the film to tell you the experience and joy we had after watching it. The movie was named Kung Fu Hustle. Kung Fu Hustle is an action comedy and a fantasy film which was released on December 23, 2004. The movie was about ridiculous and unbelievable martial arts, fighting scenes, and superpowers in a Kung Fu world. Now, there are many Kung Fu movies out there with cool fighting scenes and skits like the Karate Kid, but Kung Fu Hustle could be better. This film was set in Canton, China and was the best film during the 2000s around the globe. It was simply a movie gem at the time. Furthermore, this cinematic film was left with a positive and energetic reviews and comments from its audiences. Speaking of famous, this film made a net worth around $104.9 million US with numerous awards including the 6 Hong Kong Film Awards, 5 Golden Horse Awards and many other more. The film was directed, produced and starred by Stephen Chow. The film also starred Iwa Huang, Yuan Chu, Yuan Hua, Danny Chan Kwok Kwan and Leung Sui Long. Oh, thank God it's over. But before I commence forth, there will be a bunch of spoilers ahead because it's gonna be difficult to tell a story without sacrificing some main events and plots. Let's get into it. It is the 1940s. China, the gang ruled the city. The most atrocious of them all is the Axe Gang, led by the insane Brother Som. The police could barely have enough forces or strength to stop them. They went around committing manslaughter, arson, rapes to those disobeying the gang and to whom they want to. A slum called Pigsty Alley, managed by the landlord and the landlady, which is where people living there were just minding their own business and trying to make a living, and is the only safe area from the Axis, because the people there are so poor, some couldn't afford accommodations, and some couldn't even have enough supply of water. Wannabe gangster Singh, a hapless, broke and homeless man, along with his dim-witted pal Bone, disguised themselves as a fake member of the Axe Gang and attempted to extort money out of a barber and failed, plus was warned off by the landlady.
Hey, I'm with the Axe Gang.
Axe Gang, my
Boss!
boss, my
Singh then lit a firecracker as a call for help and it exploded on one of the Axe Gang's members' head. Drawing the real Axe Gang to Pigsty, however, it turns out that there are several disguised Kung Fu masters living in the slum, each individual with a different fighting styles and technique. And later, the two sides are enemy from that day on. The 3 Kung Fu masters could be anyone among all of these people living there. You just have to take the wrong guess. From that moment on, exasperations and hunger of vengeance between the two sides never dissolved, and it kept deteriorating even more. Now, let's talk a little bit about Singh's past and how he ended up like this. When Singh was young, he was approached by a substandard and inferior Kung Fu bookseller. The seller said he could see the power of Chi flow in his body, and he was the one destined to save the world. And Singh was convinced, so he spent all of his pennies he saved for his future on the book. He practiced Kung Fu and dreamt to be a hero one day. But it was a scam. Growing up, Singh could never win against the bad, so he decided to join the Axe Gang. By this, he had planned to murder the landlady, which failed horribly.
Oi mate, aren't you tired of spoiling for others? Perhaps you should stop. You are ruining the fun, you nitwit.
Well, buddy, there's going to be a lot more. You just have to sit and watch.
Shut up.
I hate spoilers.
And I can't take it anymore. I'm leaving.
Throughout the night and day, there were battle fights between the two sides, and the tenant living there couldn't get enough sleep or their own safety.
What's going on? Oh, forget it.
As plot thickens and every situation around Singh is heating up, Singh must decide whether he should be a mobster or a hero to save the day. In the end, Singh came face to face with the Beast Killer, the one and only who is dedicated to Kung Fu and became nuts. He is strong, muscular, fast, evil, craving for a mighty adversary to fight with, and no one could stop him. He is known as the Beast. Okay, the Beast with flip-flops, alright. In the end, Singh was able to overcome his antagonist by unleashing his true potential. Well, after watching this movie or this review, you might be wondering, what's the message behind this film anyways? What does it show? What does it teach? Violence? The bad side of China? Gangs? Manslaughter? Using Kung Fu for evil doing? No. Kung Fu Hustle calls attention to the spirits of martial arts as a means for self-improvement and defense instead of simply attacking and defeating the opponent. The ultimate martial arts hero is the one who is able to win over his opponent's heart by peace and forgiveness instead of violence and revenge. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about why this film is so overrated and why everyone, including you, should watch it. The film contains good cinematography. For those who like comedy, this movie will suit perfect for you. Not only comedy, this film contains a ridiculous and silly actions in an ingenious way. It also contains honor, redemption, and forgiveness. And many other more I can't fully tell in one video. Now, for the reason of some distaste in this movie. Reason number 1, it contains... Wait, why is there a timer on my screen? Wait, what's happening? What is this? What? Is it a time bomb?
Hey, I'ma wake up, I'm about to say something. 3 virgins on the tracks, I forgot he stays sus. Only fans get advanced, deducted my pay stub. Got these bands in my hands, bitch, I'm about to pay. Yeah, I'm in a man shit, not a band kid. You a fan, bitch, callin' Tyler, man, we putting down advances. My horny rampant, profit plans.